The next topic is sets. Types of sets, algebra of sets, Venn diagram and their applications. Candidates should be able to identify types of sets, that is, empty sets, universal sets, then you have complements, then we have subsets, then we have finite, then we have infinite. We have infinite, then we have disjoints. Now, these are the subtopics that we have under these sets. So if you talk about, first and foremost, let's talk about sets. Just like you have in the how important the choice of courses to be done or to be studied in the university is concerned. If you have chemistry, biology, physics, it is very pertinent to note that chemistry is more important as far as UTME combinations is concerned more than any of these two. So that means if I'm to compute a Venn diagram for this, chemistry will always be at the middle where you have this. So you have your chemistry here, you have your physics here, you have your biology here. What it simply means is that you can have physics chemistry combination, you can also have chemistry biology combination, but it is difficult to have physics biology combination. That means anybody that wants to study, let's say engineering for example, you need physics and chemistry, not physics and biology. Then anybody that wants to study medicine also needs physics, chemistry, biology. So chemistry cannot be, you can have chemistry biology combination, you can have physics chemistry combination, but it is usually very difficult to have physics biology combination in isolation. That is to show how important chemistry is. So let me start by talking about empty sets. An empty set, if you have a set, is always denoted by a capital letter. So when you have a set of this kind, we say it is an empty set, because a set that has no elements or a set that has no member is an empty set. So if you either you have it like this, or you can have it as what? File. So when you have file, they call it file, is what? Is an empty set. Then let's talk about universal set. Universal set is a mother of all sets. So if you have, let's say for example, you have A, B, and C. Let A, B, and C be sets. Let's say A is a set of this A. B is a set of this B. While C is a set of this C. Then if I want to talk about universal set, U, it will definitely be A, B, C. So this is the universal of this, because this, they are subsets of the universal set. Then let's talk about complements of a set. Let's say we have universal set, for example, as this. I want to talk about A complement. A complement means what you have in the universal set that is not in A. Look at this, for example. So if I want to write this A complement of with respect to this universal set, it will definitely be B, C, because these are the elements that you have in the universal set that are not in set A. Also, B complement will definitely be the elements that you have in the universal set that are not in B. So it will be A, C, and so on and so forth. That is complements. Then let's talk about subsets. When you say a subset, talk about subset. So subset, for example, you have A a set just like what I gave you earlier, then and you have a universal set as A, comma B, comma C. So a subset is definitely a particular set that is contained in the universal set. Look at what you have there. If you have a scenario like this, you can say A is a subset. This is the symbol of subset. A is a subset of the universal set because there is a particular member of A, that's A, that is also in the universal set. But because universal set is bigger than A, then we write it this way. So that means what we are saying is that this A is a subset of the universal set because it has only one element. The universal set has 3 elements, but A has only one element, and that element is contained in the universal set. So A is a subset of the universal set. Then let's talk about finite sets. A finite set is a set that has a beginning and ending. That means it terminates. Just like if I say a finite set can also be the set of even numbers between 1 and 10 inclusive. So this one is definitely going to be a finite set because it has the set of even numbers between 1 and 10 inclusive. That means if I want to write, let's say the set is A, for example. If I want to write it, it will just be even numbers between 1 and 10 inclusive. I will start with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 inclusive. So you can see that in this particular set, you have the first number and you also have the last number because this is the first 10 and this is the last 10. So that makes it what? A finite set. This is a set that has the first 10 and the last 10. Then when you talk about infinite sets is one that does not terminate, or you cannot exhaust it. Just like saying the sets of human beings with 2 heads. That is an example of an infinite set. A set of all human beings with 2 heads. You know that one, you cannot get that. So you can't, that cannot be what? Determined, or that cannot be calculated, or that cannot be counted, because hardly can you get a person with 2 heads. So that makes it what? An infinite set. Then let's talk about disjoint set. A disjoint set is a set in which the intersection between the 2 sets is an empty set. What am I saying? If you have a set A intersection B and you have it to be equals to 5, for example, so you say that this A and B are said to be what? Disjoint, because there is no convergence, there is no point of what? Intersection. Example, A is contain this and B also contain this. Then when you say A intersection B, it will definitely be what? An empty set, which is 5. This has described the disjoint sets. You can see that A and B are disjoint sets. These are the examples of the UTME questions. What we did was basically to return most of those questions in the UTME, and we use them as examples here, so as to get you familiarized with the different dimensions in which question can be tested. Look at this. The first question says that we are given what? A Venn diagram. This is known as what? A Venn diagram, because it's a diagram in form of circles that describe the number allocated to each parameters and so on and so forth. So in this situation, you have a piece of information being represented in a Venn diagram. So the question says the Venn diagram shows a class of 50 students with the games they play. So that means in this situation, it should be noted that this H represents hockey. H stands for hockey, while VB that you have here stands for volleyball. Volleyball. Then S that you have here stands for swimming. Swimming. So that means we have 3 sports